Good morning, gentlemen. Nice time to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you on something very important, and that is, as far as India is concerned, we have very many people whom we respect a lot. But when you lift up the lid, you find that these men are not really as patriotic as we think they are. We have examples of history like in the Battle of Plassey, where you remember that Mir Jafar, who was the foremost general of the Nawabs, Siraj-ud-Dawla, went over the side of Robert Clive when the battle was lost, and later on Siraj-ud-Dawla was beheaded, blinded and beheaded. Anyway, that's part of history. It's been there for centuries, since the 10th century, and even earlier when Porus' brother-in-law went and joined Alexander. I mean, it's been always like that. And now I have some very unhappy news, I would say. I would say it's unhappy because I find it difficult to reconcile that such a thing could have happened. The Tatas are now uh, sporting, or rather underwriting, a literary festival called the Power of Words. The Tatas have a very benevolent approach to life and to India, and they fund a lot of activities which are of a social nature and benefit the country. But this festival has raised my hackles. I'm really surprised because the Tatas have invited one man to this festival, a writer, a Pakistani, I think, and his name is Mehdi R Hasan. Now, you may be asking who this character is. Well, he was earlier with Al Jazeera, and now he's there with one of the American broadcasting groups. And he is a man who is a rabid Islamist. Uh, it's a good idea if you have faith in your own religion, but it doesn't mean you denigrate the others. And this man has gone on record, and there are viral videos available which show that he has been making statements like, all those who are not Muslims are basically animals. And he says, we have to maintain the high moral ground against these non-Muslims because they are like animals, and otherwise we will also become animals. I mean, it's something very silly. And the Tatas we normally associate with a lot of patriotism. Ratan Tata is a man I respect a lot, and maybe he's not aware about it, but if he has become aware about it, it's incumbent on him to cancel the invitation to Mehdi Hasan and look for a way out. And he's not the first man, Now we have all sorts of people here. We have this leader of the Congress party, the sister of Rahul Gandhi, and she has gone and said that recently India abstained from condemning from stopping the war in Palestine, and she said she felt very ashamed about it. I don't see why she should feel ashamed about it, because that resolution did not mention the fact that Hamas is the entity that started all this mayhem. So you can't have a one-sided resolution, have a ceasefire, and forget about to perpetuate the men who went and killed innocent people. Well, gentlemen, I have nothing more to say on that point. That's again a personal opinion. But there are so many people here who are out and out to denigrate India, and among them is the Congress party. And you still recollect that when Narendra Modi came to power in 2014, Mani Shankar Iyer, who's a blue-eyed boy of Rahul Gandhi, went to Karachi and he pleaded with the Pakistanis, please help us to throw Narendra Modi out. I mean, I could just laugh about it and say, well, what can we do about such people? But the Tatas, you expect better. Tatas have been in the forefront of India, for a long time, though they collaborated a lot with the British. That also is a fact. And the earlier Tatas made their money by selling opium to China. That also is a fact. And they made their empire, but after 47, I don't think they can be faulted. because they decided that their bread and butter is with Bharat, and so they really changed colors. The Tatas never funded any freedom movements during the days of the Raj, and they were content always to look for Aware media and set up industry and all that. And of course, they did a lot as far as the Indian industry is concerned, setting up the locomotive plant, the steel plant, all that. Wonderful. But I have a feeling that there's an inherent undercurrent in some of the top leadership of the Tatas, which is anti-Hindu. There's no such evidence available, to be very frank, but one can only look for straws in the wind, and this is one of those, calling Mehdi Hasan a man who has denigrated non-Muslims, and that, as far as he's concerned, are basically Hindus, and compared them to be just animals, is not the right man to be brought into such a literary festival, which should be a flower of intellectual thoughts. Tata has done a lot for the country, I will say that still. Recently, Ratan Tata had inaugurated a medical institute, a medical research institute of all places in Dibrugarh, in the far east of Assam. And he has been one of the biggest and good employers of lakhs of Indians in their industries. But now Ratan Tata is perhaps very old. He's 86. I saw some of his photographs where he's finding it difficult to walk. I feel sad. And he's a man who's been given the Padma Vibhushan. So obviously it's incumbent on him, now that he's come to know, to withdraw the invitation to this gentleman, Mehdi Hasan. Mehdi Hasan, even if you go through the old videos when he was with Al Jazeera, he was always propagating and denigrating the Hindus and India. He would pick up those topics, which showed the Indians in a bad light, Bharat in a bad light, and in particular the Hindus. There are so many other good people as far as Islam is concerned, and they don't believe in such ideas. But unfortunately, this man has gone around doing this, and that also has been overlooked by the Tatas. I hope they'll rectify this. In the meanwhile, gentlemen, please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and come back for more. I close now and wish you all goodbye and God bless. Thank you.